and good evening to you, and welcome in to the sounds of the night. The sounds of the night, the softer sounds, sounds to set a mood. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways. I love thee to the depth and breadth and height my soul can reach when feeling out of sight for the ends of being an ideal grace. I love thee to the level of every day's most quiet need by sun and candlelight. I love thee freely as men strive for right. I love thee purely as thy turn from praise. I love thee with a passion put to use in mild griefs and with my childhood faith. I love thee with a love I seem to lose with my lost saints. I love thee with the breath, smiles, and tears of all my life. And if God choose, I shall but love thee better after death. Across the years he could recall his father one way best of all. In the stillest hour of the night, the boy awakened to a light. Half in dreams he saw his sire, with his great hands full of fire. The man had struck a match to see if his son slept peacefully. He held his palms each side the spark his love had kindled in the dark. His two hands were curved apart in the semblance of a heart. He wore, it seemed to his small son, a bare heart on his hidden one. A heart that gave out such a glow no son awake could bear to know. It showed a look upon his face too tender for the day to trace. One instant it lit all about, and then the secret heart went out. But it shone long enough for one to know that hands held up the sun. If love were what the rose is, and I were like the leaf, our lives would grow together in sadder singing weather. Blown fields or flowerful closes, green pleasure or gray grief. If love, my dear, were what the rose is, and I were like the leaf. If I were what the words are, and love were like the tune, with doubled sound and single delight our lips would mingle, with kisses glad as birds are that get the rain at noon. If I were what the words are, and love were like the tune. If you were life, my darling, and I, your love, were death, we'd shine in snow together, ere March made sweet the weather, with daffodil and starling, and hours of fruitful breath. If you were life, my darling, and I, your love, were death. If you were thrill to sorrow, and I were page to king, we'd play through lives and seasons, with loving looks and treasons, and tears of night and morrow, and laughs of maid and boy. If you were thrill to sorrow, and I were page to joy. If you were April's lady, and I were lord in May, we'd throw with leaves for hours, and draw for days with flowers, till day like night were shady, and night were bright like day. If you were April's lady, and I were lord in May. If you were queen of pleasure, and I were king of pain, we'd hunt down love together, pluck out its flying feather, and teach his feet a measure, and find his mouth a rein. If you were queen of pleasure, and I were king of pain. Loving in truth, but lost in speech, my love to show, that she, dear she, might take some pleasure of my pain. Pleasure might cause her listen, listening might make her know, knowledge might pity win, and pity grace obtain. I sought fit words to paint the blackest face of woe, studying inventions fine, her wits to entertain, oft turning others' leaves to see if thence would flow some fresh and fruitful flowers upon my sunburned brain. But words came halting forth, wanting invention's stay. Invention, nature's child, fled step Dame Shadow's blows, and others' feet still seemed but strangers in my way. Thus great with child to speak, and helpless in my throes, biting my lonely lips, my future looked quite bleak. Fool, said my muse to me, look in thy heart and speak. There are men in this world of ours whose hearts are light and gay, and then there is another type with only pain to pay. One of these feels too sad, the other is not real, yet they both have something in common. They both have the gift to feel. When we two parted in silence and tears, half broken-hearted to sever for years, pale grew thy cheek, and colder thy kiss. Truly, that hour foretold sorrow to this. The dew of the morning sunk chill on my brow. It felt like the warning of what I feel now. Thy vows are all broken, and light is thy fame. I hear thy name spoken, and share in its shame. They named thee before me, a knell to mine ear. A shudder comes over me, why wert thou so dear? They know not I know thee, who knew thee too well. Long, long shall I rue thee, too deeply to tell. In secret we met, in silence I grieve, that thy heart could forget, thy spirit deceive. If I should meet thee after long years, how should I greet thee? With silence or tears? My time has come, my death is near. Please stand by, don't disappear. My death is not of that of dying. To you, my love, no use in lying. My death is that of living, my death is that of giving. For out of my shell for once I come, for once in my life I am not known. 'Tis funny, 'tis sad, 'tis sweet, 'tis mad, 'tis all of these, and yet I'm glad to be myself for once, glad to drop all false fronts, to speak my peace, to say my mind, and still my sentence be unsigned. To want to love and love, to want to talk and talk, to say to you the things I feel, and know you will not mock. The world is mine when you're in my arms, the world, the universe, and all their charms. The thing that's died in me is death, and you, my love, took its breath. With a kiss to the lips and a word from the heart, it did the deed like a poisoned dart. For when a person does not love, they're dead. And what was I but walking death? But thanks to you and up above, I can feel, I can love, and my love for you will never die. For I love, not love, but you. I hid my love when young, till I couldn't bear the buzzing of a fly. I hid my love to my despite, till I could not bear to look at light. I dare not gaze upon her face, but left her memory in every place. Whenever I saw a wildflower lie, I kissed and bade my love goodbye. I met her in the greenest dells, where dewdrops pearl the wood bluebells. The lost breeze kissed her bright blue eyes. The bee kissed and went singing by. A sunbeam found a passage there, a gold chain round her neck so fair. As secret as the wild bee's song, she lay there all summers long. I hid my love in field and town, till even the breeze would knock me down. The bees seemed singing ballads over, the fly's bass turned a lion's roar, and even silence found a tongue to haunt me all the summers long. The riddle nature could not prove was nothing else but secret love.